seconds. Sorry about that. Hello, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast for basically, as you can see by the title, the Europa League draw, the quarterfinal and semi-final. I'm just going to pass over to Sam for a second. I'll get myself a drink. Guys, what? Yeah, Sam, if you take over briefly, just who do you think we're going to get in the draw, basically?
So, they're drawing the quarterfinal and the semi-final at the same time, so we get to know basically our route to the final, or what could be the route to the final. Few decent teams still left in it. What do you reckon, James? I've seen you've been tweeting who you'd like to see us draw, so tell everyone what you think.
It's a little bit of a dilemma between a busman's holiday and who would I really like. Obviously, I've been getting a lot of requests from Europe and overseas in the eventual event of an Ajax Arsenal game, and that's why I tweeted out yesterday about obviously Ryan being at the front of the queue because he was the first one to mention it. But I actually think for the Unai Emery story, I think it'll be a great story to play them. Ajax as well, they're on great form at the minute, both at home and abroad. Even Granada. There's no easy games. There really isn't. And we haven't won a European trophy for 27 years. And I can't see, with all what's going on off the pitch, with all the unrest within a squad, within a fan base about, one wanting to give Arteta lots of time and lots of patience, which they never afforded for Unai Emery, but they did for Arteta. I can't see why it's going to happen this time, but be really interesting to see who we play, and very exciting as well.
Like you say, there's a few decent teams still left in it. I think they're all decent teams, to be honest. I mean, of course, some better than others. We're at that stage now where, I don't think there's any poor teams left in it. I mean, even Dynamo Zagreb. I mean, yes, okay, it was great to see Spurs bottle it. We love to see them bottle it. They weren't good yesterday. But still, Zagreb, they're not a very bad team. They're still a half-decent team. Yeah. But there's other better sides still left in it. And for you, I was thinking, you'd probably love to see Ajax against us. You get to go to the Amsterdam Arena and sort of go, stay locally and get to watch Arsenal if they let fans in by then. We don't know yet, but
we don't know. But we don't know. But I literally have to cross the street. That's the best.
Exactly, but you could probably still be a part of. Exactly.
From my bay window.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying you can be right there in the middle of it, can't you? So you can catch all the action on the outside. To the anything close to the stadium and anything like that. So, and of course, like you say, the what do you call it? It's like a script, isn't like a movie script. If we if we end up drawing Villarreal, because then it's the revenge of Emery, then, isn't it? Is he come back and can he beat Arteta, his successor? It's like a movie script, isn't it? If that happens, and Villarreal are a good team. They're a good team, so they're gonna. I'll tell you what, they would give us a tough tie, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I'm really interested in this particular draw is the dynamic. Okay, with Benfica, we had on neutral grounds, fully understandable, but it was still away first and then at home. And then with Olympiacos, away first and then at home. I don't think we're going to be afforded such luxuries in both the quarterfinal and the semi-final draw. I think the dynamic is going to be really, really important. And it also has been strange how some, like, for example, Chelsea had a great result. But I do find it very strange and a little bit incomprehensible that a team plays a two-legged European affair. The first leg they play on neutral ground in Bucharest, and then the return leg they play in London, and it's the team from London that goes through. It's very, very strange. I can understand safety being paramount, but up until a point. But for me, it's not just the opponent today; it's also the dynamic. Because I'll say before the draw is made, obviously being at home in the second leg, okay, first on neutral ground and then at home properly. With home and away with Olympiacos, I don't think we're going to be afforded such luxuries for both the quarters and the semis.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough either way. The quarterfinal is going to be tough. The semi-final is going to be tough. Yeah, there's no easy way, is there, really, to get there? It's because we're going to have to just be our best and do, win the ties. That's what it is. It's the old-fashioned way. There's no easy way to the final, is there?
No.
Certainly isn't.
Gal Creasy's doing the draw, by the way.
Oh, Gal Creasy's doing the draw. Okay, I haven't got it.
Yeah.
Very good. It's come a long way since Cannes.
It was a decent left back, wasn't he? He was decent.
He was signed at a really young age, though, wasn't he? It was 18 when he signed for Arsenal.
And the expectation to replace Ashley Cole as well, that's a massive thing, obviously.
They were big shoes to fill, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely huge. But yeah, obviously Champions League draw as well. I was touching on it before they get into our draw quickly. A few tasty quarterfinals, that's the final with potential semi-final draws.
Yeah,
Liverpool Real Madrid is going to be a good one.
Liverpool Real Madrid, the repeat of the final, PSG versus Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich are literally 19 game unbeaten. I'm sorry, in the competition. Was it Chelsea versus Porto and Man City versus Dortmund?
Yeah. Good ties, aren't they? Very good ties.
And potentially Man City or Dortmund versus Bayern Munich or PSG, and Real Madrid or Liverpool versus Chelsea or Porto for the semi-final.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit rogue this year, and I reckon it's going to be a Porto Bayern Munich final because history has a habit of repeating itself. And Porto, Juventus were favourites against Porto, and look how that turned out. Yeah. Chelsea are already instant favourites, and they've got a great manager in Conceição, who played for Lazio, played for Standard Liège, played many times for Portugal alongside Figo and Rui Costa. I just think there's something about them, and the Champions League always has a habit. And every now and again, a team reaches the final which nobody expects. 2004, 2000. You could argue us in 2006. Every now and again, it throws it up, and I just think, I mean, it might be a bit off the cuff and a bit rogue, but I'm going to go out, stick my neck out a little bit, and say a Porto Bayern Munich final. I reckon.
You could even argue the 2010 final between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. Both teams at the time, because of the dominance of English football at the time, no one in Europe expected to be Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich at the Bernabeu as well. And then Inter Milan go on to win it, obviously. Then literally, Mourinho goes, "Bye-bye, I'm staying here."
But also from Real Madrid's point of view, they were desperate to win the Champions League, and appointing the manager that had won it was kind of their way of saying, "Look, we really won it a little bit because the manager that's won it is staying with us." But I think Mourinho must regret his time at Real Madrid a little bit. He could have handled it a lot better.
Yeah, it doesn't been the same since.
Especially the way he treated Ilkay Casillas. To treat him like that, I think when he looks back at the end of his career, I think that's definitely got to be one of his biggest regrets, I think.
Yeah, well, big up Russ and Shirts has joined us as well. So at least we can't get Spurs exactly. What brilliant that was. And that, I don't know if you saw my tweet. Someone put a tweet asking everyone who they think they were getting the draw. The draw's about to be made, by the way, now to quarterfinal itself, getting underway. I quickly said I'd like Zagreb just to show Tottenham how it's done, but I think we're going to get rid of Real. But who's out first? Granada was out first, so Granada will be home.
They struggled against Molde. They did. They struggled.
They lost
last night. They did, yeah. Last night, yeah. Just got feeling that away goal scoring side of it. So yeah, Granada, go on, Casey. Come on.
Granada get
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
That's their cup. That's you could argue that's their cup final. There's no pressure on them now. The pressure's taken off them. And Granada done well. This thing is that James has said as well recently. Every year in Europa League, you get that one team, at least one team. You don't expect to get to the final. I think Granada could be that team. Out of the teams left.
I think with the first leg being at home, I think that's very.
That's going to be crucial. Oh, we're out now. Here we go.
Well, Arsenal.
Home first. I told you the dynamic.
Yeah, we're at home, so away. That's a good. I can get on board with that because Don't know who we get actually saying that.
Depends who it is.
Yeah,
Begins
but
with
say.
A.
Oh dear, here we go. Come on, Chris, take your time. Here we go. Slavia Praga. So you would have had Rangers.
Czech Republic.
We would have had Rangers if the Rangers had got through, basically.
We've
Slavia Praga.
got to not make the same mistake as Leicester and Rangers, because if we don't learn from their mistakes,
we'll be out as well. Yeah, Slavia. Every day, Leicester City. Ajax are out now. One sec, I'll get back to Arsenal in a minute. Ajax
home first.
At home. No, it was Slavia the last few rounds. Leicester City, they had the away leg, the second leg of Slavia. Same last night, and the same again. That's 3 rounds in a row. You've got a bit of luck there. Yep, and we've got Kesh just joining us as well. All right.
Yay.
AS Roma for Ajax.
Can you hear me?
Ooh, second
Ajax
leg in Roma.
Roma. That's a good tie.
Yeah, I don't know if you. Yeah, it's on the screen. Arsenal got Slavia Praha from Czech Republic. Oh, he's gone. No.
But second leg is Stadio Olimpico, and be interesting to see what happens. What happens there. So.
Here you go. Dinamo Zagreb are out. They've got a home tie.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Wait. Not a bad draw. Not a bad draw.
Yeah,
no, could be worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Let's be honest. So
depends what the semi-final draw is first.
Yeah,
I think I'm powder dry with that one.
So yeah, it's Villarreal versus Zagreb, but Zagreb at home first. So that would have been Unai Emery versus Tottenham yesterday. Tottenham hadn't bottled it. So I'm going to say it now. We'll potentially have some Villarreal as semi-final opponents if we both get through.
I think they're going to fix it. They're going to fix it so we face Emery.
They won't. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I know it's 50-50, but I think we'll end up with Roma or Ajax. I think.
Really?
We're about to find out now. Okay, here we go. First one's out. We know of which semi-final we were going first. So here we go. Winner of quarterfinal 1, so that's the Man United Granada. The first one. They're at home. Whoever goes through is at home first. Versus the winner of quarterfinal 3, which is now.
I think it's Ajax Roma, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Ajax Roma. So we've got Villarreal. What did I say?
We've got Villarreal then.
Of course, they're going to.
Are we at home first, or are we away?
I'm about to find out now. Here we go.
At home.
We're away first leg. Quarterfinal 4.
Oh, that'll do.
So Villarreal, if they get through, would be the home team first, or obviously Zagreb.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can meet that lot in the semis then, huh? Villarreal, Emery in the semi.
Could possibly, yep. But we have to turn up though. We have to do our job first, and then have to do that.
Yeah, we have to beat Slavia Prague first. They're not easy, I don't think.
Yeah, and especially with the second leg being in Prague as well. You know, as Ryan said, you know, they went to Ibrox and went to King Power and got through on the away legs, playing really well. But by the same token, they'll be happy to be at home in the second leg. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, we're at home the first leg, and then I think now. I can't remember now. Either way, it's going to be. We've got to make both legs count. We can't do what we did last night. Not now.
No, of course not.
That was shit yesterday. We can't
repeat that. Man United either get Ajax or
Roma. Yeah.
That's a good. Two very good semi-finals potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the winner
with
of
the second leg being in Rome, leg being in Rome, I think that's going to be tough for Ajax. I think they've got to win the home leg. They've got to win the home leg.
For the final as well, the winners of the second semi-final will be the home team. So if we get to the final, yay! If we get there.
Maybe
where are they planning the final this year?
It did come up a minute ago.
Gdansk in Poland.
Gdansk, that was it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's Gdansk. It's a shit place that is.
And the next season is Seville. So
Seville.
but yeah, so I think all early signs are pointing towards an Ajax Arsenal final. I think.
I imagine that.
Why do I say that? Lives in Amsterdam, so I think that's a bit predictable, isn't it?
No, some tasty draws yet again, but yeah, we've again that being disrespectful. It's been sort of kind to us. It's asked to we'll be the favourites because of who the name of Arsenal is.
Yeah.
But again, I've got to repeat it. We cannot do what we did.
We can't go there with that. We can't go there with that mentality.
No.
To go there to get the job done.
No, and they can't do what they did last night either, performance-wise, because Slavia have knocked out a team that's above us in the league. And I know we beat Leicester recently, but doesn't.
Yeah.
But the point is that Leicester thought they got the job done basically.
They're a danger. They're very dangerous. We have to be on our game.
Yeah, go sharp against them and play well.
But then but in a potential semi-final against Miami, who would have thought that? Huh?
I knew it was. I said it would happen.
We knew that. We knew that was going to happen. We have to play them someday.
Oh,
yeah.
Dear. Oh, God forbid if that actually does come about though. We both get to the semi-final. You know he's going to be stoked for it because he's got a point to prove to the club, the players, and the fan base all in one hit. He's going to himself be motivated.
Yeah. Yeah, and also as well, Villarreal have never reached any kind of European final. So it's not just about him.
We've always stopped him.
We've got history. Yeah. We've got history against him.
This is a club who had their period with second division as well. Kind of brought them. I mean, 2006 they reached the semi-final. Well respected, established La Liga club. But I think the story of it, for obviously Unai Emery, he helped us to reach our first European final for 13 years, which is a long time. And but there's many a twist and turn. As I've always said, there's always one team that reaches the final that nobody expects, and it's tournament football. Nobody expected Slavia Prague to beat Rangers yesterday. I did, but that's just one opinion. But
it doesn't matter.
It's anybody. It's anybody.
Listen, for me, it's always been once you get to the quarterfinals, any team can go on and make a remarkable run. So it all depends on who turns up, what form you're in. It's down to you to get to the final. It doesn't matter if your name's Arsenal. It doesn't matter if your name is Man United. It's over to you as a team and a collective.
Oh, exactly. Was it last season? Who did Inter play in the semi-final for the Europa League? I can't believe it was now. Kiev, wasn't it?
Was it Kiev? I can't remember now.
Dynamo Kiev, wasn't it? No one expected them to get, because even though the format was changed because of what happened, they still weren't expected to get that far. They absolutely obliterated teams to get there, and it's got a run. And even
was it not Man United that beat them?
I'm trying to think that. No, Man
United got knocked out by Sevilla.
Sevilla that beat it.
Man United.
Yeah.
Man United got knocked out by Sevilla.
But boys, I'm gonna have to run.
No worries. Cheers for
that.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man United got knocked out by Sevilla then, and Sevilla also knocked out Wolves, didn't they? Who subsequently knocked out Olympiacos. So it's be really interesting to see what happens. But I think there's still many a twist and turn to go. I mean, Slavia Prague, they'll also be fancying their chances. They haven't knocked out Leicester and Rangers to get knocked out by us. I think they have ambitions of going on to maybe even reach the final themselves. So be very interesting to see what happens.
I agree with Russ Morgan here because I think the draw we've had is quite favourable, to be honest. I mean,
it could have been a lot stronger basically against us.
We could, Slavia Prague, it's we could have drawn a tougher team. And even the semi-final, I know Villarreal are a decent team, but we could have. I think it would have been worse with Ajax or Roma, to be honest. So it's but we're still gonna have to. They're still gonna play out their skins, aren't they? We know Slavia Prague are gonna play out their skins. We know
Yeah,
Villarreal,
especially-
they're going to have a point to prove. So there's no easy way to the final now. But if you look
No.
at the teams on paper, you would argue that, you know, Slavia Prague and Villarreal is slightly easier than, you know,
Yeah,
Man
for Slavia
United
to
and Man United and Ajax, isn't it? So
yeah, or Roma for that matter. Yeah, that's under the draw. Yeah, so it's all down to us. It's in our
and
hands
also
now in
not
that
to
sense.
discount Zagreb as well. It's never that easy.
Zagreb, that's
it
it, yeah.
remains tournament football.
they did it yesterday.
It's
They did it
tournament
yesterday.
football.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, Orsic came out of nowhere
And,
yesterday, didn't he?
You know, to show a lot of Arsenal fans.
Everyone's like, who's this Orsic?
And,
Who's this
yeah,
Orsic?
so it's tournament football.
Yeah, well,
Who's
literally last night, Sam, we were literally at the extra time. We were like, we were asking about the age and all. He looked like 20, 21, maybe younger. And you looked into it. He's like 28. Like, bloody
He's
hell.
28 years old. Yeah, he's only scored, and apparently he's only scored 2 goals in the season up to now. So I don't think he's as prolific as we think he is.
But he turned up when he needed.
Even-
He turned up when he needed.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he definitely showed up yesterday.
Even still as well.
Mm.
He had a very good game
You know,
yesterday.
So go on.
And even though Sam makes Sam makes a great point about you know, Villarreal and Slavia Prague being the potential opponents. Obviously, Villarreal after a potential quarterfinal, but Dynamo Zagreb, they're not there to make up the numbers, and it's also always tournament football. So you just never know. We could be full of surprises.
Yeah.
Also, Mark in the chat as well was mentioned this because obviously I don't know anyone that hasn't been keeping an eye after what the aftermath of the last night's game with Slavia and Rangers is a bit of an incident apparently between certain Slavia players and racist comments made towards some Rangers players, so we say.
I saw a clip of that. Yeah.
Apparently he's ended up in a punch up. They've reported him to report the Rangers players or whatever. But at the same time, it's the player or players didn't do what they did in the first place and make these alleged, I've got to say alleged because nothing's proven as always, or allegedly, these racist comments. That doesn't happen in the first place. So UEFA have got to look into that in quick because obviously there could be retrospective action taken there if proven guilty.
Possibly.
It'll be a fine. They won't change you get into the next round, but they'll probably give a fine or something like that.
A fine and not a suspension for the said players in question or whatever. Mark also goes on to say doesn't think the Rangers story will be over. That's going to drag an international break now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, that's basically the case. If we make the semi-final, it's got either Villarreal or Dinamo Zagreb. They've knocked out.
Imagine if Zagreb knocks out Villarreal. I mean, we're all expecting. We're expecting if we go through, we're expecting to play Villarreal. But imagine if Zagreb knocked them out.
I mean, they're not. As I said, they knocked out Tottenham yesterday. And Tottenham one of the favourites of the tournament, along with Villarreal. And Zagreb aren't obviously got no pressure. The underdogs as well. It's always that, as you say, that one team. So we've got a Granada or Zagreb could make that fun, or both. Let's be honest, they're both on the opposite side of the draw, aren't they? So they could both potentially make a final. They've got nothing to lose.
Well,
like we scored Frankfurt a few years back.
Yeah, I think Granada are sort of the joker in the hat here because they've done well for themselves, haven't they? Recently, they seem to have this sort of different approach to things, and they seem to be punching well above their weight. And they could be a surprise. They really could, even though I know they struggled against Molde. But it's always tough going to Norway. Cold weather, way up north. It's a tough place to go. But I think they're quite a decent team, Granada. I think they're not as easy as you think.
No, I think Brownie was saying as well.
They've had a good season, haven't they?
Yeah, well, literally got relegated that season. They came straight back up, and they've improved, and obviously they got the Europa League spot last season. But yeah, I mean, they've got nothing to lose. They're the team with nothing to lose in this tournament, really. Let's be honest. And yeah, you could, like you said, like the weather and all that, the conditions of last night could have an effect, but also the players themselves might not the pressure of being that close to the quarterfinal might have got a bit of nerves, but they got over the line. That's the main thing. They got over the line, and in Zagreb. As well, going back to them, they were 2-0 down after the first leg. Everyone wrote them off. The Tottenham fans were singing away in the quarterfinals. We're going to win it. And look what happened last night. Tottenham, they weren't even a weak team. It was a fully strength team, Tottenham. and Zagreb turned up and turned them over. And from the first seconds, one was watching both our game and that game at the same time. He said, from first second to the end, they would absolutely dominated Tottenham, all over them.
Yes, the way Mourinho's set up lately, isn't he? I mean, he's not really been up to what people expect, has he, so far this season? He does a lot of weird tactical stuff. Yeah. And we like it, don't we? We like it because we hate Tottenham, so we don't give a shit about them, so that's good.
Exactly. Big morning to Gary as well. He's probably just got up over where he is.
Oh, yeah, he's over in America,
Yeah, over in America.
Gary. Yeah, he was on the Arsenal fan circle last night,
yeah. Gary, we've got Slavia Prague for the quarterfinal, and potentially either Zagreb or Villarreal for the semi-final if we get that far. And for God knows for the final, but we'll be the home team if we get to the final. Whoever wins the semi-final and our semi-final is a home team. So that's, take that for what you want, but you know.
But we were also.
We've got to take it one day.
I believe we'll be the home team in 2019 as well, and that didn't work out too good, did it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter that much. You know, I think 2019 we were also the home team, but you know, we've got it would be an achievement.
But the thing is, we were the away
and come back and win it in 2021.
But also we were the away team in 2000, the away team in 2006. So it doesn't really matter anyway for us.
No, I was going to say. I mean, Europe.
No,
when it comes to
we've got a terrible record in European final.
I was just going to say. I mean, when it comes to Arsenal Football Club, unfortunately, you know, Europe is the thorn in our side, isn't it? It's that one, you know, theatre that we just can't really seem to conquer that well. Yeah, I mean, we only got, was it two proper trophies from
the Cup Winners' Cup.
We've got the Cup Winners' Cup and the old Fairs Cup, isn't it? That's it, really.
Yeah, Fairs Cup, yeah.
That's it.
Against Anderlecht.
That's it. And lost in 2000.
Yeah, we lost in 2000. We lost 95. You know, Cup Winners' Cup 95. Lost in 2000. 2006. The big one we lost in 2006.
But we're still here.
Yeah.
So it's you know, Europe is Europe's. Yeah, we got to start winning some European trophies, lads. That's what we've got to start doing.
And with the draw, I know it's again anything can happen. But with the draw, do you think that with the draw being the way it's panned out for us now, do you think Arteta's going to go all out for that and basically do what Emery sort of did and basically put everything into that basket and just bin the league off now, or do you think he'll still try and get a European spot in the league? And risk.
I think Europe's tough. I mean, the top six position now in the league, it's tough. It really is. I mean, you look at the games we've got coming up.
We've got West Ham this weekend, and we've got the international break, and we come back from the international. We've got to play Liverpool, Chelsea still. At some in the last few games.
All
of the
teams
season
are tough because we're playing a couple of relegation candidates as well. And we're playing a couple of relegation candidates as well.
We've got to play Fulham at some point as well.
And Brighton.
Newcastle. Brighton. I think we've got to play Newcastle away, haven't we?
Yep, and we've got Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace will be okay.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not really. Yeah. But Brighton, they're gonna be up for it, you know, because they're in a relegation battle, possibly. Newcastle could be in a relegation battle. Fulham, they could still be in a relegation battle. I mean, they're three potential tough games there we've got on top of the Liverpool and Chelsea as well. And all that. So you know, we've got a tough running. We've got a tough running. So I would
absolutely.
I would try and win the UEFA Cup if it was me. I really would. Well, I call it the UEFA Cup because it's always going to be the UEFA Cup to me, the Europa League as they call it now. But you know, the Europa League, I would definitely try and focus on that because, I mean, that is the way into the Champions League, isn't it? I mean, if you can get into the Champions League,
and also, like me and James have discussed before, we've got to start building a European pedigree up. We've got to do it. And UEFA Cup, Europa League, what you want to call it, that's a first. It's a first stepping stone because
we need it.
You can qualify for the European competition by either Champions League or Europa League. 20-odd years on the bounce. But if you're not competing, you're not winning it. What's the point? You're only known for being in it. You're not known for winning it.
Exactly.
You need to start winning these competitions.
Knocked out.
I mean, I mean, Joe Hart as well. But apparently,
and also not getting knocked out of the last 16.
Yeah, we always last 16 and against last 16. Bye bye Arsenal. Bye bye Arsenal. Last 16.
Last signing by Munich. Bye bye.
Yeah.
The main, and it's also saying dark horses for the Europa Cup. Ajax are being overlooked for me. I think Ajax would be favourite. I think out of that draw, looking at that draw, Ajax should be the favourites. Yeah, they should.
I want their manager. I want their manager. I want Ten Hag. I want him.
Well,
he wants to go to. He wants to go to Germany.
Yeah, you're saying before.
Okay, so can't we?
He was asked a couple of months ago about his future, and he said that he would like to go to, if he could handpick where he goes, he would like to go to Germany. And obviously, there's not many openings at the moment, but who knows? But Ajax are doing really well, both domestically and also in Europe. But I think they'll win the Eredivisie as well. I think they're in the cup final against Vitesse. But I think this is the last season of dominance from their point of view. I think next season we'll see a better PSV, we'll see a better final, we'll see a better Arsenal Alkmaar. And it's been great fun today, guys. Nice to speak to you both. I'll be signing off.
Okay. Cheers, James.
And,
cheers, James.
We'll
also good.
And get ready for an Ajax.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Arsenal Ajax. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Definitely get on for that final. Trust me.
Have a good one. Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, James.
Bye.
Yeah, so it's just two of us left now.
Yeah, there was 4 for Beeflin and there's 3 and there's 2 of them. Yeah, there's 2 of us.
2 left. They're dropping like flies.
Lie in the chat. I haven't seen you for a while. I'm not going to say the last bit because I know that's big.
Yeah,
I know he's going for that. I know he's going for that.
Going for.
Yeah. Slavia Prague have knocked out Leicester. Yeah, exactly. We have touched on that. Exactly. We can't play. Yeah, they're a good team. We've not disrespected them at all. We're saying if Arsenal were to get to the semi-final, we have to turn up for both home and away. We can't do what we did last night.
Well, the thing is, they're a good team, but what we're just looking at is on paper. We're sort of ranking the teams on paper, and on paper they are one of the weaker teams left in it. But not that there's a bad team left in it. Absolutely not. They're all tough teams. They could all beat us. Yeah. But when we're ranking them on paper, Slavia Prague is probably going to be at the bottom with Dynamo Zagreb, with the 2 teams left, and then you've got the likes of, you got the likes of Ajax and Roma and Manchester United on top of that. So Villarreal, they're the other teams that are better than them.
Yeah, from a personal point of view, I'm a bit gutted that Rangers have been knocked out now because I really
that would have been interesting.
That would have been, even though there would have been no fans, it still would have been fantastic.
That would have been a spectacle.
Yeah, it'd been an absolute spectacle. And I think the last time we actually played them was a pre-season friendly at the end for the Emirates Cup, and that was my brother's birthday as well. That was he was like 5 or 6 that year. We beat him 3-0. Wilshere was just coming through as well. Ramsey, but yeah, that would have been brilliant. The Battle of Britain and all that as well. That would have been tagged. But hey, it is what it is. We've got Slavia.
Rangers would have been a nice little spectacle because they're playing well, aren't they, under Gerrard? It would be the whole Gerrard versus Arteta thing, which of the young up-and-coming managers is better, It's a Battle of Britain type of thing always, isn't there? Always when you've got Rangers or Celtic against one of the top English teams, it's always the whole Battle of Britain and all that,
Yeah, also, I got a notification come through on Sky Sports saying Tottenham's Joe Hart apologises to fans for job done message posted in error on his social media account after the Europa League exit. That was a good of him, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he must have had it ready to go then. It's all like, oh, damn, we didn't win after all.
Yeah, put it out. Oh, no, don't. We scored. Oh dear! But you know what? I was saying about Poland and what you said about Poland before, Gdansk. But he says up Baku.
At least Poland's not that far away. Baku's in God knows where, isn't it? You're off right in Azerbaijan. Yeah, no, I mean Gdansk. I've been to Gdansk a couple of times. It's a decent town or city, of course, on the coast there, north coast of Poland. But it's not great. I mean, there's 2 other nice cities there. Little town cities along the coast. Sopot and Gdynia that are a little bit better, more action there. But Gdansk would be I suppose it'd be good fun. Poland. There's a lot always a lot of good action in Polish cities, bars and that, and they got good beer. Polish beer is good, Tiski, and can't remember the other ones now, but I usually drink that Tiski. It's quite nice when I'm there in Poland. Nice, refreshing Pilsner. But yeah, Gdansk. How big is that stadium, Gdansk? It's not a massive stadium, is it, Gdansk? I think it's about 50,000, about that, 50, something like that. So yeah, it's not going to be a massive stadium either. But we probably won't have fans there anyway, so they'll probably have like maybe max 10,000 or something like that when we get there. Maybe. But then we'll see who gets there. I mean, we've got, I would say, decent draw now. We could have drawn worse. We could have drawn Man United, Ajax, Roma. More difficult teams to beat, definitely. But yeah, of course, Slavia Prague. You got to give them their credit for what they've done. They're not an easy team, and we're not saying they're an easy team. We're just saying that ranking wise, they are lower down than the likes of Ajax, Roma, Manchester United. So it could.
Yeah.
But it still could, of course, it could be a banana skin. Slavia Prague could be a banana skin. We could, if we don't improve on what we did yesterday, we're going to go out. It's as simple as that.
Well, exactly. We need to take note of what Leicester did wrong, what Rangers did wrong last night. Even though Rangers got one, they're probably fatigued and got one eye on Sunday for their Old Firm derby. So maybe that took it into equation as well. And plus, they had 2 players sent off. One. There was no way around it. Even though it was accidental, there was no malice in it. He had to be sent off Ruffier. But we have to learn from the mistakes, because if we don't learn from the mistakes, we are going to be another scapegoat, so we say. And then Arteta will be thrown under, literally not thrown under the bus, but he will be held up accountable, because he's been given a favourable draw. Let's be honest. And we're not. Again, that is what it is. Out of the 2 sides of the draw, we've got the favourable side by the looks of it.
Yes.
But he has to. But if he messes up this quarterfinal, because semi-final could go either way as well, because of the 2 teams respectively.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to be massive red hot favourites because of the players that we have at our disposal compared to what Slavia have at their disposal.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. We are heavy favourites against Slavia Prague. We should be beating them. We should. Of course, it's never going to be easy, but we should be beating them. And then we've got the winner of Dynamo Zagreb and Villarreal in the semi-final. And I tell you what, it could be Dynamo Zagreb, but we're all sort of automatically thinking towards Emery and Villarreal and all. Oh, it's got to be them, but it could be Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah, it could be. And that's the reason. Also, the reason we're sort of thinking Villarreal, because obviously it was a perfect setup, wasn't it? That one step to the final. Yeah. I mean, Lars also says PSG buying is an amazing tie. Yeah, Champions League wise, I've actually got a good pick. I've got a massive headache in my hands for the quarterfinals. Who do I pick to do watch songs for and all that stuff? Because they're all really good ties. Even the semi-final, potentially Chelsea, Liverpool, or Madrid, Porto, or Bayern Munich, Man City, or PSG, Man City, or PSG, Dortmund. It is literally heads on. It's anyone's game.
How are they going to do that this year? So far, it's planned that they're playing home and away, right? That's what they're doing. They're not going to a neutral country or something like that. No.
As it stands, unless something happens between now and obviously the first leg or whatever, unless something happens, there could be, as it is now, home and away at the respective grounds. Obviously, if there's an outbreak in a said country, say, for example, in Germany there's an outbreak, or France, then they'd have to move them to a neutral ground, both ties. Yeah. But with us, I think we're fine. Obviously, we're fine here in the UK in the sense of, obviously, we played our tie last night, so there's no issue there. Unless there's an uptake again.
You've got to be close. You've got to be close with all the vaccinations you guys have been doing now. You've got to be close to.
Well, I had my one 2 weeks ago now.
As I'm saying, you've got to be close. You've got to be close. You guys are better. You've got to be close to. It can't be too long off where you're actually going to see a big drop in the infections. You must do, because of all the vaccinations.
Yeah, that's the hope anyway. I think that's why he's sort of set that target. I think Boris set some targets and dates, and all that malarkey.
No, I mean it's when it comes to the Champions League, I mean last season they played it neutrally in Portugal, didn't they? And then
it was all in one place.
And then they didn't they stagger the games as well, so they could show all the games could be showed on TV.
Yeah.
Now they should do that again this year. You know, they shouldn't have two games going at the same time on the Tuesday and then the Wednesday. They should stagger them so we can see all the games.
Yeah, have like two games on Tuesday, but one like 5:55.
Yeah, early kickoff.
Yeah. Should do. I hope they do because that makes it easier for me. I can cover all the games then.
Well, because then if the thing is, I think they could do that because if it's behind closed doors, there's no fans. They're going to want to put that on TV. So I'm thinking they are going to probably stagger those kickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Main Annan's also in the chat asking where the final has been played. It is being played in Poland, Gdansk.
Gdansk, North Coast, Poland. Yeah, it's quite a decent city. It's not great, but.
Yeah. The
stadium's not that big either, is it? I think it's only about 50,000 capacity.
So,
but not that we're going to probably see that, but
I think it'll be empty. I think it will be beyond closed doors more likely the final. I think mid-May or anything, isn't it? Anyway, it buses Poland, like so depending on what their situation is at the time, it could be behind closed doors still. But it's still global, as in for the actual what we do with the actual having to sit here at home and watch it. They'll get that reach out anyway.
Yeah.
But Alpha says as well in the chat, seen you for a while, Alpha. You're keeping well. I can see a Man United Arsenal final. Don't please no anyone, but because it's a European final. If it was a domestic final, I'd be yeah, of course, get on board. But because it's you want a European, you don't want to win this. Plus, it's Man United for fuck's sake. Come on. How many more times we got to beat them in the final for them to piss off? He says the thing about Man United are a team that you can never happen with them. They go near a team like Ajax. They can go and lose to Brighton. Yeah, there's that as well. But you remember we've beaten them this season. We've drawn against. We've come away 4 points out of 6. They're coming away with 1 out of 6.
I'm just so fed up with playing the English teams. That's the thing. I'm so fed up with these English teams.
It's a European fight.
I want to play I want to play a European team. I want to play an Ajax or a Roma or someone like that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, James mentioned it before. Arsenal, the main is saying as well. Arsenal actually scoring it now. I'll be on board with that, even though it's going to be a tough final, no matter who we get in the final. But that'd be like the favourites.
Ajax are a good team and they've got a good manager, so I can see them getting that far. To be honest, Ajax are a solid team, got good talents, got some good players. Ten Hag is a good manager. He knows how to get them to play. He's tactically very, very astute. So, Ajax are probably going to do well. I can see them beating Roma, getting into the semi, and then they could beat Man United. They could. So, Ajax are definitely a strong team, definitely, with Ten Hag at the helm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. But also, Before James went, I was going to say also we all know Overmars is leaving Ajax into the season. So if it's an Arsenal Ajax final, fucking hell, please. If Ajax win, please come to us. Please,
Overmars. Overmars could be. Apparently, he's done quite a good job, hasn't he? With the recruitment at Ajax.
He'll want to go out on that ultimate high as well.
Yeah.
And a couple want to do it for him as well because of the work he's done for them. So. There'll be added elements to that sort of final, but you know what? I'd enjoy it because it's a European final. And again, if we were to win it in that way, you've actually fucking earned it. For fuck, you've actually bent over and actually go after it. To be honest, again, we have the quality to win this sort of competition, but will they actually turn up? Do we have faith they'll turn up for these sort of games?
Yes.
Last night's performance is. That sticks in your mind, and that's what worries me as a fan. That can still happen. We've got 5 games left in this competition potentially.
The main thing that we do have the quality on paper to get to the final and maybe win it. I mean, we do if we have our strongest first team available, no injuries. We could definitely do it. I think we could, but. Again, it's Arteta and his setup and especially his game management. I think that's where we could be struggling a bit because in a final, when you're playing, especially if we're going up against a Ten Hag or someone like that, who's tactically very, very shrewd. Arteta, unfortunately, we see his game management is often not very good. He will not really tactically make the right changes later on in the game. The substitutions can be bad. Bringing on players that we shouldn't be bringing on, and taking off players we shouldn't be taking off. Gives them the advantage and puts them the other team often back on the front foot. Makes it difficult for us the last part of the game, and that is an issue we have, unfortunately, with Arteta. That's one of the issues I have with him. Is his match management, game management. Because it's important. You've got to realise a manager from the sidelines, he can do a lot to manipulate a game tactically. He can change players around, bring on a player, take off a player. A manager can do a lot more than what people think from the sideline, and that is where Arteta, I think, he has one of his weaknesses, unfortunately, and that's in a final. You've got to be able to change things around when maybe things aren't working exactly as you want. You need to make necessary changes. It's it's a difference between someone who really knows what they're doing and someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. They can win the final. That's the thing. And that's my only little worry there with Arteta is his experience, lack of experience. As I said, match management is a weakness of his, but the players have to show up as well. So again, they have to be motivated. That's another thing for the management and the coaching staff. Motivate the players, get them ready. We can't go out, just jogging around, half pace or whatever. The first 10 minutes, we've got to go out and give it 110%, and we've got to go out and stamp our authority on the game, and for us to win it. And it's those little things there that we need to see happen.
Yeah, Cheddar said, has a draw been done? A draw has been done. It's basically got a recap now. Man United have got Granada. AS Roma versus Ajax. Ajax are at home first. We've got Slavia Praga. And Villarreal versus Zagreb. And in the semi-final, potentially, it's Man United or Granada versus Roma or Ajax. And Arsenal or Slavia versus Villarreal or Zagreb. Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say now. But yeah,
No, I think we've covered quite a lot there. Now we've just got to see how it pans out. We've got to show up.
Yeah.
We can't make those fuck ups. We can't keep making those individual errors if we're going to win. And Arteta, he has to be solid from the sideline as well. As I was saying while you was off air a little bit there, I said, unfortunately, one of the issues we have that worries me a little bit, when you get to like a final or even a semi-final is, you get to that type of stage where match management, game management becomes very important. How you plan a game to change things, if you need to tactically in the second half, bring on a player to change things, take off a player who's not maybe giving you what you want. It's those types of changes that Arteta struggles with. He struggles with the tactical adjustments in the second half, and he struggles with the substitutions. Often taking off the wrong player, bringing on a player we shouldn't really be bringing on, that type of thing. And that could be the difference between winning and losing a final. Is those things like that. The tactical nuances. That are not being looked at. And I just hope Arteta's on top of that, and the players are playing their best, and then they will hopefully sort it out.
Yeah, hopefully, and this is why another thing I mentioned about would he potentially just throw everything in the basket because of how the draw panned out? Would he just get to a point if we get to semi-finals, just throw everything in that basket and go, "This is what we're going for now"?
Well, I would say if we're in a semi-final, I would definitely say that's when you really got to start focusing on it, because then you're so close to a final and you're so close to actually winning it. And you got to remember the prize. I mean, the prize is huge.
Well, the prize is Champions League football.
A place in the Champions League is massive.
And that was his primary target set to him at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. So for us to get into the Champions League, that would actually, if we actually ended up winning the Europa League and getting into the Champions League, that would all of a sudden turn his season around completely. Then it would actually go from, you look at the league hasn't been good at all. But then overall, the season is a success. If you're winning the Europa League and getting into the Champions League, ending up with Champions League football, for me, I would have to say that's a success.
In that sense, yeah. But then he then by doing that puts massive pressure on himself this summer with the pre-season, the transfers, ins and outs.
That's life as a manager.
The next season, because now the pressure's on. That he's again domestically, especially. Not just if we do get, obviously, if we were to get the Champions League football via the Europa League, but domestically, he would have to then improve because this hasn't been good enough domestically this season. And that's where if he doesn't improve, he'll be out of a job very, very fast because the fans will be back by then as well.
The pressure is what he has to learn to live with. As Arsenal manager, there should be pressure because the fan base are demanding Champions League football. We're demanding a title challenge within the next few seasons. You got to feel that pressure. If you don't feel that pressure, if you don't want to live up to that pressure, then you got the wrong job. You're not in the right job. It's as simple as that.
But yeah, we're going to wrap things up now. Sam, where can people find you? Because I've got a week of mentally preparing myself to have my wisdom tooth taken out. Yay!
Hey, you'll be all right. Don't worry about that.
But this is international break.
The international break was just pointless as always. But follow me on Twitter. It's my Twitter handle there, at 1980_Greenwood. Put some football content out and other stuff that I think's funny and interesting in the world of football and other things as well. But mainly I'm just a guest on different panels here on YouTube, mainly here with Ryan on the Mr. Arsenal podcast. On Thursday, late nights, I do the Arsenal fan circle with the American Arsenal mob. Sometimes I do a Sunday as well. But mainly I do watch-alongs here with Ryan and we do some previews and stuff like that throughout the week. And thanks for having me. It's always good fun to be on here. Great to see everyone in the chat again. A lot of the regulars. Nice to see you guys as always. And it's always fun to be on here and talk about Arsenal.
Yeah, this comment's just coming as well. I know it's a long time ago. Didn't we beat Slavia? Yeah, literally I think it was our first season at the Emirates in the Champions League. In the group stage, absolutely torn. But we had that. Look at that team: Kleb, Fabregas, Rosicky,
and they were shit too.
Henry, Adebayor. Oh yeah, they were literally. I mean, even Walcott scored in that game as well because the goalkeeper messed up. And he was 16, 17 then.
Yeah.
So he was just coming through. That's no disrespect to him by me saying it, but I'm just saying he was a kid and he literally working his trade. But yeah, I don't think it'll be that. I don't think that'll be the case this time round. Sadly, it won't be that easy.
No, I think Slavia Prague are a better team at the moment, and they were much better than they were. Yeah.
If you come across this new channel, you've obviously liked this sort of this format we've done today, like covering the draw and our reaction afterwards. Do subscribe to the channel, do smash the like button, do share the content around. And we'll be back on Sunday for the West Ham game. Possibly, I'm not 100% yet. I could possibly be doing the watch along for the Old Firm as well, just to see Rangers stick it to Celtic one last time this season. But yeah, until then, as always, enjoy the rest of your Friday, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you Sunday. As always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you guys.
Come on, you guys.